Hello there. Welcome to Family Tree Counseling Associates. My name is Mark Smith. I'm the founder and the director of Family Tree Counseling, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about who we are and why I believe that we would be the best choice for you here in the Indianapolis area for marital counseling, couples counseling, individual and family counseling, or for that matter, to contact us and work with us via Skype anywhere in the English speaking world. I grew up in Kokomo, Indiana. My original plan for my life's work was to be in the ministry, but I believe God funneled me toward being a marriage counselor instead. And I started Family Tree Counseling Associates on 3rd Avenue Southwest in Carmel on September the 5th, 1989. It was just me back then, and I just had 2 tiny rooms and 2 chairs for clients to sit on. I remember the very first couple I saw, and afterwards, with a check of $50 in hand and the promise of fresh beginnings, I did a little dance. I was so happy. A lot has changed since 1989. I've trained a lot of therapists, and therapists have come and gone, but many of the very best therapists have stayed at Family Tree Counseling. We have over 150 years of excellent clinical experience. Basically, we're a teaching practice. We get younger therapists in, and we coach them and teach them and supervise them and train them. I've actually started, if you'll look around at some of the local marriage counseling practices, I've started 2 others indirectly where I've trained these people and recruited them and built their practices, and then they've left, but they still use our approach, which is using a genogram, taking the first 2 sessions for an assessment, and then giving a cutting and enlightening and insightful feedback session that really gets people on the path of couple recovery and individual recovery. Our focus of late, local people, has been international growth with using YouTube and blogging and other internet tools to reach people around the world. But we're wanting to also include you local people because we have a gorgeous office. It's right at about 113th and Meridian Street. We have 10 therapist offices. People come and the lights are dimmed, and there's coffee and tea, and there's soft music, and we have a couple of therapy trained dogs that come and visit with you. There's a candy dish. People come to hang out in our waiting room just because it's a cool place to hang out. So, but let me tell you why we can get the job done for you. There's 10 aspects of our philosophy, our theoretical approach. Number 1, we do use the genogram or the family tree, and then in an assessment session the first couple times, and then we do a feedback session that's just mind-blowing. I call it psychological surgery. I tell people that we try to comfort the disturbed and we try to disturb the comfortable. Number 2, I've been telling people for years, I only know one thing and I only have one skill, but I have been booked since 1989 and have had anywhere from 12 to 8 therapists working for me during that time to see that all the extra work that comes in. And that one thing I know is your marriage makes sense. You married the right person. Marriage is therapy. Whatever unresolved issues you had with your childhood, I have good news and bad news for you. The good news is you can fix yourself and probably fix your marriage. The bad news is you married your parents. Think about it. Think about the worst qualities of your parents or the worst things that happened to you in your childhood. Make a list of those, and then make a list of the most obnoxious qualities of your spouse and see if those two lists don't look alike. 90-something% of the time they will, and the other time it's because people marry the complete opposite, which has a downside as well. The third thing that makes us distinctive is we believe there are no victims in marriage. There are no victims, there are no bad guys. There's two people that have colluded to build what you've built, and it's there to help you heal and help you to learn. Number 4, we don't believe in marriage counseling at Family Tree Counseling, because what marriage counseling is, hey, let's the three of us sit around and brainstorm about how we can freshen up this marriage that's dying or in crisis. That ain't gonna work. We'll never try to fix your marriage. You know what we try to do? We try to figure out what's true about who you are and where you came from, who your spouse is and where they came from, and we get you both to choke it down. So good therapy is about the truth, and it's about being psychologically open. And you're not going to fix your marriage, which is rooted in some deep psychological wounding and dysfunction from your childhood, by instituting a date night and trying to spend time together. If you go that route, you will get a divorce. It's not going to work. It's very, very important that you make the right decision here. If you get an average to below average marriage counselor, you're probably going to get a divorce, and you'll regret it, and it could get ugly. You know, when you're having brain surgery, you want the best. You don't want the managed care guy, you want the best. And when you're seeking marriage counseling out, go for the best. Not the guy on the insurance panel. That's the only way he can get any work because he's not that good. Find somebody who's been doing it for 30 years, who's been killing it for 30 years, who has a long history of very satisfied clients, who's been in the community. And I've got 4 of us that fit that bill, who are very good at what we do, and we've been doing it for decades. There was another local practice that I indirectly launched, and they said they had 28 years of combined experience. Well, we got 150. You know, we're the real deal. We've been here. We've been getting it done. Number 5, we believe in 5 traits of our clients. We're good at what we do. So what determines the success of your therapy? It comes down to do both of you have these 5 traits? Number 1, are you highly motivated not to save the marriage, but are you highly motivated to fix yourself? Number 2, are you teachable? Do you have flexible, open psychological defense mechanisms? Number 3, do you have the courage and the strength to feel your emotional pain? Number 4, do you trust the process? And generally people learn to trust the process when they meet us and they hear our message, because we lay down and put out some truth about you that will cut through your denial and resonate with your spirit. Hey, this person knows what they're talking about. And number 5 is following through and reading books, going to group therapy, watching YouTube videos to get the additional work that you need in between the appointments. We believe in a recovery process. Number 1, part of recovery is your psychological walls are down. You're on a therapy site because you're feeling some pain. You're not doing this for fun. This isn't fun. You're on this site because you're looking for help, because you're hurting and you're worried about the stability and the future of your relationship. So that is the walls being down. The second thing is gaining insight. So many people, they go to terrible marriage counselors. They focus on the marriage and they don't fix the real problem. The real problem is your childhood, my friends, and how you're reenacting it with your spouse. That's the God's honest truth. And any therapist, any marriage counselor who doesn't tell you that is a complete and utter waste of your time and money. The third part of recovery is feeling the pain. In each of you, there's a wounded, sad little kid at your core. We're all just wounded, sad little kids who walk around in adult bodies. And marriage is an opportunity to rip down some of those defense mechanisms and get at that wounded little kid and get some healing done. And then the last part of recovery is getting better and having hope and relating to each other on a deeper, more connected way. Number 7, in terms of what makes us distinctive, is we believe in group therapy, and we have 2 groups now, and we're about ready to start a third and probably a fourth. And we're going to start some internet groups. We also believe in sending people away for intensive, week-long intensive at On-Site near Nashville, Tennessee. The 8th thing that makes us distinctive is we require that the therapists do their own work. In our therapy groups, the therapists do their own work. Great therapists are not made in graduate school, let me assure you that. Great therapists are made on the therapy couch. And we've spent a lot of time on the therapy couch ourselves. And number 10, in terms of our approach, is things will probably get worse before they get better. Sometimes you got to tear something down before you build it up. Sometimes before you build a new arena, you got to take dynamite to the old arena. A lot of people come in, the dynamite's already happened, and then we can rebuild. I guess I got another couple points. Instead of 10 points, I got 12. The 11th thing is we create a really safe environment in the therapy session. We don't let people vent and triangle and yell and scream. And number 12, we are ethical. We do what is right for you, our clients. So keep in mind we can do Skype therapy. I'm going to run through the list of our therapists. Myself, I have 30 years of experience. I have expertise in affair recovery, narcissistic abuse syndrome, abandonment issue, shame, and marriage counseling. Andy Holzman, who I've been working with since 1985, is a wonderful, gentle man, and he has 35 years of experience. He hails from New York, and he's been my right-hand guy for many, many years. He came on board about a year or 2 after we started, and he's available, and he does marriage counseling, and he also does art therapy. There's Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper is one of the best therapists in this city. He does no marketing whatsoever, and people just lining up at the door. We call him the teen whisperer, but he works with a lot more than just teens. He's very talented. He's got 20 years of experience. Angela Caprietti has 12 years of experience. She has a lot of wisdom. She has a lot of perspective from sort of a healing perspective, more of a new age perspective. And she's very accepting and kind, but she will teach you about recovery. Karen Smith, and this woman is special. I keep calling her Michael Jordan when he was 14, because she's got experience in social work, but not much experience in therapy, but she's done a ton of her own work, and she's very compassionate, and she's going to be a superstar. and she's just finishing up her training and hasn't even taken client one, but she's going to be awesome. Jen Dorr is an intern who has another year or so of training before she gets her master's degree, and she has tons of insight, tons of work on herself, very well trained, knows how to work with narcissistically abused people. As group on Tuesday night. So that's our staff, plus my assistant Jeff, who's awesome. Our office is, the address is 11350 North Meridian. You can call to make an appointment at 317-844-2442. I'm going to put this on our website, so you're already there. You can hit at the top where it says associates and learn more about each of our associates to see which one you think might be a good match. But also visit our YouTube channel. We're sneaking up on 1,250,000 views, and we have videos on a lot of different topics. Come join us. Give us a try at Family Tree Counseling. You'll be very glad you did, because we can help you. Thank you for watching. God bless.